What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is July the 21st. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, don't really have a whole lot today. One thing that is going to really impact the market is tariff talks. And so far, it seems to be a pretty hot topic. So you never know on what could potentially be stated. Brazil is already countering back, and it seems to be very irritated by just the stance of the states. So again, a lot of that grayness could really kind of pull the market down slightly, but essentially today is more of a technical driven day, and in the broader markets case and many stocks that I'm going to be talking on, things are looking pretty a-okay. But right now the fear and greed index is under the extreme greed category, meaning people's appetite for risk is on the table, so that should push a lot of speculative stocks higher. Aside from all that fun stuff, you do see the futures fairly green. Dow is up 0.24, S&P up 0.24, and NASDAQ up 0.23. So overall, looking like it is going to be a pretty good day. Getting right to it, SoFi is up slightly, just piggybacking off the broader market. Of course, the countdown to the earnings does really commence, so I think all eyes are going to be on SoFi's key metrics, and as well just generally leading up to that, what analysts are doing. Most likely, I would anticipate one or two bearish analysts to kind of reiterate their negative rating, as what typically does happen. So don't be surprised if that does happen sometime this week. But aside from that, 14.09% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 152.95 million shares overall are being shorted. I'm really curious to see on what shorts might be doing today, because this last week they did absolutely nothing. So they kind of just sat back. I don't know if they were on vacation or something else, but definitely I'm going to be really watching and very curious to see what they're going to be doing this week. A couple of key levels to watch for though, with it at 22.05. It is right below this R1, so trading between this R1 and the pivot. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart on a side note. So 21.91 is a strong support, so just watch for that alongside 21.61. So if you're looking at averaging down, swing trading, just kind of watch for those. And then 22.20, 22.39, and then 22.69 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance points. And on Friday, kind of did bounce off this general R3, so we know that's a heavy resistance level, so don't be surprised if it does move higher and bounces off of that again. So just somewhat be aware of that. A lot of people are talking about Opendoor, and so even this morning it is up 33%. No news, no SEC filings, just now people are seeing it as a momentum as well as a squeeze play, because 27.47% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 179 million shares overall are being shorted. So shorts have been doubling. Actually, to be fully fair, they've been tripling down. So roughly in April, the short interest was about 11%. Kind of moved it to the 21, returned to roughly the 18, and because of the recent price action, whoever is shorting has said, no, F it, I'm just going to double, triple down. So they have massively just increased. So you're going to see a little bit of a pinch, potentially either a pullback attributed to shorts or essentially a squeeze. So yeah, interesting kind of stock. But aside from that though, if you're looking at swing trading based on the technicals, which I wouldn't really advise, only because a squeeze play, it's kind of random. It doesn't really take hold of this. But with it right now at 298, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So on a technical standpoint, 252 is going to be a strong support. And then 362 is going to be the next strong target size resistance if you were going to see a continued push higher. So just kind of watch for that. And then moving on from here, Lucid. Lucid is randomly getting a lot of volume despite it being relatively flat. This morning, there isn't any news, no SEC filings, no speculative topics have come out over the weekend, just people still talking about Lucid and Uber. Right now, shorts going into today, 31.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 387.81 million shares overall are being shorted. So anticipate shorts to be fairly active today as per usual. Normally, they make up at least 30 to 35% of the daily volume, so they will be a big part of today. Essentially, it is flat this morning though, so it's kind of weird because even during the overnight, I posted on social media that it was up almost like 3%. I think at the peak it was like 5%. So definitely has pulled back quite a lot. But with it at now 303, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So one very key support that you need to watch for it to hold, if it is going to hold these gains, is 290. So just watch for that. Flip side, 311 followed by 331 is going to be the next strong resistance slash targets. So just kind of watch for that, whether you're a day trader, swing trader, or whatever else. Moving on, ticker is HSDT. It is up 68% because of this news right here. So they put out an 8K, and yeah, it seems to be pretty good for the most part. As I've explained in the past, biotechs kind of over my head essentially, but this is again why they are kind of moving higher. So essentially good results. 14.79% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 8,000 shares. So this is exactly what the market loves to squeeze: heavily shorted, low float. So you might have some people kind of chattering about this being a squeeze play as well. With it though, at 14.45, it is above all the key fib levels. So just kind of stay tuned and just watch for the hold numbers, for the most part being support and resistance points. And then moving on from here, ticker's SBET, it is up 9.56% during the pre-market, largely because of the recent performance of Ethereum. And so this stock is very volatile, as you can kind of see. Just on Friday went down 20%. So just kind of stay tuned and do your own due diligence and all the other fun jazz. This is a good indirect crypto play for the most part. Ortex doesn't seem to be working right now for this company. It shows like short score and some other data up here. Does indicate that 3.42% of the free float's being shorted, but no data as of right here. So again, that's kind of roughly the benchmark where it did close on Friday at. So it's not overly heavily shorted or anything like that, but right now with it at 31.83, it is trading right now between this S1 and this S2. 31.73 is going to be a strong support, so just watch for that. Followed by 29.14, flip side 33.32, and then 35.90 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance points. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's floating your boat? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.